Imagine stepping outside, and the sky is already gone. No explosion, no warning. Just one impossible moment where Earth's atmosphere vanishes, and almost everything you know dies with it. But here's the strange part. Suffocation wouldn't be the first thing you'd notice. Our atmosphere is far more than the air we breathe. It's an invisible shield protecting us from deadly radiation, burning meteors, and the brutal cold of space. It keeps oceans liquid, temperatures stable, and every living thing alive. Without it, Earth would begin transforming into something that looks disturbingly familiar. Mars. Scientists believe Mars once had rivers, lakes, and a much thicker atmosphere. Then powerful solar winds slowly stripped it away, leaving behind the frozen, lifeless world we see today. So what if the same thing happened here, but instantly? And this is where it gets weird. The world would fall completely silent. Sound couldn't travel because there'd be no air to carry it. Birds would drop from the sky. Airplanes would lose the pressure they rely on. Even the bright blue sky would disappear, replaced by the endless blackness of space. Even in the middle of the day, everything would still look like Earth, but it would already be turning into another planet. But that's not even the craziest part. The real nightmare begins with water. Without atmospheric pressure, the boiling point of water crashes. Oceans, rivers, and lakes would suddenly begin boiling, not because they're hot, but because the pressure holding them together is gone. What happens next changes everything. As water turns into vapor, temperatures plummet. With no atmosphere trapping heat, Earth cools to an average of around -18 degrees Celsius. Days become scorching under direct sunlight, while nights plunge into unimaginable cold. But here's the strange part. Even in freezing temperatures, you'd still suffer a deadly sunburn. With no atmosphere filtering the sun's radiation, ultraviolet rays would strike the surface at full force. The sky would be black, the sunlight would feel harsher than ever, and nowhere would be safe. Could you survive? Only for seconds. Without outside air pressure, your lungs couldn't function. Even wearing an oxygen mask wouldn't save you unless you also had a fully pressurized suit. If you held your breath, your lungs could rupture. If you exhaled immediately, you might stay conscious for only about 15 seconds before blacking out. 3 minutes later, it would all be over. Every animal, every plant, almost every living thing. And that's when the biggest twist arrives. You'd think Earth would stay dead forever, but it wouldn't. Long after humanity disappeared, tiny survivors would remain. Certain bacteria could endure where everything else failed. Over millions of years, volcanoes and geothermal vents would continue releasing gases into the empty world. And this is where it gets weird. Sunlight would slowly split water vapor into oxygen. Carbon dioxide from Earth's interior would build up. Bit by bit, a brand new atmosphere could begin forming. Not the one we know today, and nowhere near thick enough for humans, but proof that Earth never truly stops rebuilding itself. The planet would heal, just without us. That's the terrifying lesson hiding in this thought experiment. Earth doesn't actually need humanity to survive. Humanity needs Earth's atmosphere every second of every day. Every breath you take, every sunset you admire, every sound you hear exists because of an invisible layer most of us never think about. So the next time you look up at a blue sky, remember, you're staring at the only thing standing between life and the endless silence of space. But one question still remains. If our atmosphere disappeared tomorrow,